All right, guys, we're going to start with dynamic stretch. This is very important. You've done this before. Everyone should pretty much know how to do all of these stretches. Don't cheat it. We're going to go 10 yards out, 10 yards back, full 20 yards for each of these stretches. As we go through the dynamic stretch, guys, you'll see that this is done on a field. By no means do you have to do any of this on a field. This video is set up so that you can do the drills in your backyard. You can do the drills in a park, whatever is easiest for you. You'll note some of the drills along the way do involve another person. If you have a parent or a sibling that can help out, great. If not, that's okay too. Use your imagination. You can perform the drills against air. You can use chairs. You can use cones. Whatever you have around the house to help you get the job done, feel free to do that, guys. All right, guys, beginning of every workout, we're also going to do running drills. This is all positions. Every player should be doing this. Starting with high knees, we're going to go out 20 and in 20. So 40 full yards of every running drill. High knees are going to be followed up by butt kicks and then A skips. When it comes to A skips, we're going to pause it here to show you that we need a 90-degree angle on your hip, 90 degrees on your knee, and 90 degrees on your ankle. That's going to help us get ground force. Those A skips are all about getting as much ground force as possible. After A skips, we're going to do 20 yards out and back of bounding, 20 yards out and back of power skips, and then we're going to finish up with push-up sprints, 2 20-yard push-up sprints out and back. Okay, offensive line, we're going to start with you because you guys make it all happen up front. A few coaching points first off. We want to emphasize quick feet. We want to emphasize balance. We want to keep as many cleats in the ground as often as possible. We're going to achieve a low center of gravity by lowering our hips, straightening our backs, keeping our shoulders back, and our eyes up. When it comes to the punch, you'll see we want to strike quickly, violently, with the heels of our hands and our thumbs up. The player in this video is a former college center, so he's going to simulate a snap before every rep just because he's used to doing it. You certainly don't need to do that unless you're a center yourself. Go through this progression twice. So you're going to see us go through all of our drive steps, zone steps, 1-step, 2-step, full. Then you're going to see us go through pulls, traps. Once you get through this entire progression, go through it again, and then together, those 2 times through will be 1 run progression. All right, guys, moving on to past set progressions. Many of the same fundamentals apply. We're going to keep a low center of gravity. We're going to stay balanced. We're going to strike under control. We're going to generally use kick steps and post steps. Kick steps to the outside, post steps to the inside. You can also use post steps into an empty gap or to step up a little bit to meet a charging backer. In the workout plan, when you see past set progression, go through this entire progression twice. So go through everything to the mirror drill and then circle back with the initial kick step drills and start again to go through twice to meet one pass set progression in the workout plan. Okay, ball security. Freezing in here, guys, so we can talk about ball security. We as a coaching staff are really big on ball security. The ball cannot hit the ground on this football team. We have a number of drills that are specifically focused on that. All quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs should be doing these drills when it calls for it on the plan. The first drill is a hand touch drill, and in each of these drills, what we're looking for is we're looking for the ball to stay tight to your chest. We're looking for you to cover the point. We're looking for no movement. We should see no football from behind you. And as you move, as you touch your hand to the ground, as you roll on the ground, we shouldn't see any part of that ball moving. For the ball security circuit, guys, we want to do 2 sets of everything. So we're going to go down and back, right hand touch, left hand touch, 2 sets of that. Then we're going to go 2 sets of barrel rolls. And then finally, we're going to do 2 sets of down and back on the zigzags, which are next. All right, guys, moving on to receivers. The first group of drills for the backs and receivers will be the route drills. This is where we break down the route into the various components, try to help you become better route runners. The first of these components is the stance and start. You can see here in this stance is a good athletic position. We want to be about 80-20, front foot, back foot. We're always going to have our inside foot up. So when we do these drills, we're going to do a few of them from the right side, a few of them from the left side. Chest over the knee, athletic, ready to go. Main coaching point here is to eliminate any false steps, false movements. We want to be efficient and get out into our route as quickly as possible. Next route drill is an M drill where we work on 45-degree angles. I'm pausing it here because we want to really focus on a couple of things. First of all, you can see how low he is. That's critical. Route running takes great effort. We need to go from 0 to full speed in 2 steps, and we need to go from full speed to a dead stop in 2 steps. That's physically impossible, but that's our goal. And you can see here the way to do that is to get low, lower your hips, really put a lot of force into that foot. And here you can see technically as well, the receiver is turning that foot in, which allows him to get out of the break a little bit quicker. Next drill's four corners. Same thing. We're going to chop our breaks, but we're going to do it at 90 degrees all the way around a square of cones, both left and right. Okay, moving on from route drills to ball drills. This is where we work on our pass catching skills. This is the classic turnaround drill that someone just tells you when the ball is in flight, and then you turn, track it, catch it. Key coaching points here are to catch the ball away from your body, spread your fingers, use your fingertips, secure it, keep your eyes on it all the way through the tuck, and then tuck it securely. This next one is just a pull drill, which forces you to catch the ball away from your body. Again, track it, catch it away from your body, and watch it all the way through the tuck. Final ball drill is just an over the shoulder drill. This is where we want to go left and right, working, catching the ball, pinkies together over the shoulder. Key coaching points here are to put your hands up as late as possible, as high as possible. You don't want to run down the field with your arms extended. We're going to work on this drill one-handed as well. We're going to start with two hands, move into one hand. We don't want to use one hand in a game ever. But in this drill, to be able to track and catch one hand helps us with our hand-eye coordination and helps us make a two-handed catch in a game. Okay, moving on to the running drills. Just a reminder, we want all receivers and backs doing all three sets of drills, meaning the route drills, the ball catching drills, and the running drills. We don't know where everyone's going to be at this point, obviously, so we want you to develop all three skill sets over the summer. This first drill is a reaction drill where you're just basically putting somebody at a D tackle, D end relationship to a running back, and you're making a move off of their cue. If they cue inside, you bounce. If they cue outside, you cut up, then get to the second level and do the same thing. The next running drills are jump cut and spin move drills. You want to set up at least two levels, maybe three, and then run through making jump cuts and spin moves at each marker, both left and right. We're now moving into the full route tree where we're going to go through each and every route in our route tree for the sophomore offense. One thing with respect to this drill and really any of the other drills, if you want to videotape yourself, if you can record yourself doing the drill and you want to send any offensive drill to Coach Modi or Coach Takahashi, you should feel free to do that. We'd be happy to take a look at it and let you know if you're on the right track in terms of fundamentals or in particular as it relates to running these routes throughout the summer. Okay, moving on to the quarterback drills. First drill is a basic knee drill. Coaching points here just to keep the ball high. Keep your hand in a C position, not a U position, so that your fingertips stay on top of the ball. Bring the ball through close to your ear and follow through. Also, you want to start at about 10 yards and then move back to 15 and 20, get a number of throws at each depth to build arm strength. The next drill is the alley drill. You'll need a partner for this one. Basically, run down an alley or a tunnel, simulating a roll and getting a number of throws in. Then come back in the opposite direction so that you're simulating a roll in the other direction on the way back. Moving on to our pocket drills, the first is what we call our quick throws. These are the bubbles, the stings, the fast screens. The key coaching point here is in the feet. We want to make sure that we get our feet set quickly so that it's a balanced throw and that we follow through with accuracy. The next drill is our one-step drop. This would be used in conjunction with our 5-yard routes, the outs, the ins, the hitches, things of that nature. What we're looking for here is a hard one-step drop onto that right foot, all cleats in the ground, and then a launch off that same foot into the throw. We want to avoid any sort of pitter-patter or wasted motion or steps. Moving on now to our three-step drop, which we'll use in conjunction with our 10-plus yard concepts as well as our double move routes. Then add a hitch up after the three-step drop to simulate what we would do against edge pressure. As with all of these drills, work throws both left and right and at varying distances. After the hitch up, work the dip and drive against heavy pressure. And then finally, work your spin outs against middle pressure. Moving on to defensive line, we're going to start with a get off extension drill. You can see here, first of all, with respect to the stance, the defensive line stance is a little more pitched forward than the offensive line stance. The feet are closer together, back straight, eyes up, almost like a sprinter stance, ready to get out very quickly. In this first drill, get off quickly and really exaggerate, over exaggerate that arm extension with hands up. After that, move on to an angle right step, shown here, and then an angle left step. This next drill is a speed rush drill. It's going to be a hard step inside initially to set up the rush. Then you're going to take a widening step outside and then turn the corner as quickly as possible, keeping your shoulder as low as possible and ripping through. As with all of these defensive line drills, guys, do multiple reps. They're quick drills. They don't take very long. So even though we're only showing them once or twice, you should be prepared to do them 4 or 5 times each in your defensive line segment. The next drill is a simple get-off scoop drill where we scoop a ball off the ground, about a yard in front of your stance to ensure staying low. This next drill is a drill that also incorporates a wiffle ball, a tennis ball, or a golf ball. This is the pick up and put down drill where at each turn, the player is going to be either picking up or putting down a ball on the cone with his inside hand. Now we're moving into the portion of the drills where you can have somebody help you. If you don't have someone to help you, that's fine. You can still perform these drills. If you do, great. Have someone toss the ball, as you see Coach Weimer doing in these drills. This first one is just a simple, quick step, precise hand placement drill where the ball gets tossed at you. You fire out with your first step, arm extension, and punching at the ball. The next hand drill is a swat rip combination drill shown here. And then finally a get off short hop drill shown here. In this drill, you'll want to keep moving the ball drop further and further away to challenge yourself as much as possible. Okay, linebackers, you're going to start with a stance and start drill. Beginning with the stance, the fundamentals we're looking at here, you can see this is a perfect stance. Feet a little wider than shoulder width, back perfectly straight, eyes up. When he gets into his start, you're going to see no wasted motion, no false step, nothing moving backwards. He's going to work with a right step first and then also a left step first. So you've got to work it both ways. In this drill, emphasize keeping your feet wide all the way through the fill and keeping your shoulders low all the way through the fill. Next, we're going to work on pass drops for linebackers. You're always going to start with a step forward, shown here, and then upon a pass read, you're going to turn and sprint to your drop depth. Next is a box drill, which is going to be a drop, a fill, a drop, a shuffle, and a fill. When the plan calls for it, do multiple box drills in both directions. Next is the classic angle drill. You can see the linebacker facing the camera is going to slide to his left, and he's going to vary his approach as the runner changes his speeds. As the runner slows, he's going to shuffle. As the runner speeds up, he's going to turn his hips and run, all the while keeping his shoulders square and staying on the back hip, spilling, not squeezing, and preventing the cutback. With this linebacker W drill, linebackers are going to either drop or shuffle back and then fill, turn and fill forward. Vary it up as you go through the drill and work it left and right. In the backer reaction drill, the backers should drop, shuffle, and either fill based on a run or intercept the pass if it's a pass based on what the coach is doing. Again, if you don't have anyone to work with, that's fine. Just keep working the footwork. Defensive backs, you're going to work a series of back pedals and then breaks out of your pedal. From a fundamental perspective, we're looking for knees pinned together, quick feet, shoulders pitched forward, straight back, eyes up, and fast arms ready to move in any direction. Again, angle your feet to get a better break depending on which way you're going. And then work all of these 180s, 90s, 45s, and then add baseball turns and weave pedals at the end. After you're done with your pedal circuit, work M drill, which is going to work your vertical brakes to both the left and the right. On days where the plan calls for a core plyo workout, you should start with ladders. You may not have access to ladders. That's okay. You can draw them on the sidewalk with chalk. You can tape them on the garage floor or the basement floor, whatever's easiest. But these are the drills that we want you to work on for footwork speed purposes. Okay, guys, next we'll go side bounding. We want to go 5 out, 5 big bounds out, 5 big bounds back, and then do 2 sets of those. Same thing here with 45-degree bounding, 5 out, 5 back, 2 sets, then turn around and do reverse 45s, 5 out, 5 back, 2 sets. That's followed up with 2 sets of 10 on speed skaters. We're counting every foot strike on these. And then our final plyo exercise, standing broad, 10 yards out, 10 yards back, 2 sets. After we're done with plyo, go to core. We're going to go 2 sets of 10 on bird dogs shown here. Just count every time you raise your arm. Follow that up with 2 sets of 20 seconds on cycles shown here. Then 2 sets of 10 on leg raises. Count 1 count every time your heels touch the ground. And then lastly, whatever time you have left, just finish it off with a nice long plank. All right, guys, on the days where we have sprint conditioning, we're going to do 2 30-second runs. There's a reason for this. You can do them on a field. You can do these sprints on a sidewalk. You can do them in a park. The key is that you measure your distance. This run happens to be on a field, so we're going to go goal line to goal line and then back out as far as you can in 30 seconds. If you're down your street, measure by mailboxes. If you're in a park, measure by trees. It really doesn't matter. The key is you want to take off full speed sprint for the full 30 seconds. We want to get out of aerobic and into anaerobic energy, and that's going to burn glucose, and that's going to produce lactic acid. And by doing this, we're going to build up a tolerance for lactic acid, which is going to help our conditioning overall. So you can see here the runner's getting back to the goal line right about now, and he's going to get out to about the 16, 17-yard line right now. That's 30 seconds. So next time he does this, he's going to try to get a little bit further and a little bit further every time he runs the sprint. After you run your first sprint, wait exactly 1 minute and then run another one. Mark your progress for both and continue to track yourself throughout the summer. Okay, guys, that's it. That's our summer workout video. Please let us know if you have any questions at all. You should always feel free to email or text us. Head Coach Fisher, Coach Modi, Coach Takahashi, Coach Weimer, and Assistant Coach Fisher are all available and happy to answer any questions you might have throughout the summer. Good luck and go Red Wings.